Hello and welcome. Today we are starting with macroeconomics portion of economics, Indian economy. The first thing is what is economics? How can we define it? So generally economics is the study of production, how much goods or services we are producing in the country. Production, consumption, how much consumers are consuming these services or these goods, and in what way these things or these goods or services are distributed. So it is the study of production, consumption and distribution of goods and services in a given region, and it is related with or it is concerned with optimal allocation of resources. Optimal allocation of scarce resources, because resources are not unlimited, they are scarce, and economics is concerned with the optimal allocation so that human welfare can be maximized. So this is the definition of economics. Economics is the study of production, consumption and distribution of goods and services in a society, and also it is concerned with the optimal allocation of scarce resources to maximize human welfare. Generally, there are two branches of economics. First is microeconomics and second is macroeconomics. The microeconomics deal with individual economic units, and on the other hand, macroeconomics deals with whole economic system. Examples of these two types can be, for microeconomics, the example can be income of a person, income of an individual. So it is related with individual economic units. But on the other hand, in macroeconomics, we take GDP of a country. GDP is the total money value. GDP is the total money value of all goods and services. That are produced within the domestic territory of a given region. So macroeconomics deal with whole economic system. The next thing is economy. Now economics is the study of production, distribution and consumption of goods and services, and also concerned with optimal allocation to maximize human welfare. On the other hand, economy is the productive or economic activities. It refers to productive of economic activities in a given region. So this is economy and economics. To summarize, economics is the study of production, consumption and distribution of goods and services in a given region, and concerned with optimal allocation to maximize human welfare. Then generally there are two branches of economics. One is microeconomics and other is macroeconomics. Microeconomics, for example, individual income, income of an individual. And on the other hand, macroeconomics deals with whole economic system as a whole. For example, GDP of a country or national income of a country. Then we see economy. Economy refers to productive or economic activities that are happening in a given region. After these we have fourth point, features of Indian economy. What are the features of Indian economy? This is important for examination. And largely the features of Indian economy is, first is it is developing or underdeveloped country. The countries are divided on the level of development that happened in these countries. For example, North American continent or Western European countries are regarded as developed countries. On the basis of development of human beings and in the economy also. For example, in case of unemployment or poverty or inequalities. While India, China, and also Brazil, these countries are regarded as developing countries. They are on the path to become developed countries. And the last is low developed countries. Most of the African nations are falling in this category. So first feature of Indian economy is it is a developing country. And the second feature is mixed economy. And we will take this concept later in detail. While third important feature of Indian economy is it is a market oriented economy. And the last is it is progressive economy. So we will see these four features in detail one by one. First feature was it is developing country. What are the things that tell us that India is a developing country? So these things are, number one is low standard of living. People in India do not enjoy that standard of life that people in Western Europe or in USA are enjoying. And reason for low standard of living is primarily low per capita income. The first feature of underdeveloped or developing country is low standard of living. Because of low per capita income. Low per capita income of individuals in India. The per capita income, it is the measure of amount of money. It is the measure of amount of money. What amount of money? That is earned per person in a nation or a geographical region. So it is the amount or it is the measure of the amount of money that is earned per person in a country. So this is low per capita income. This was the first feature of developing country. Why India is developing country. The second thing is there is scarcity of capital. Capital generally means machinery and factories. So there is scarcity of capital, and due to which there is unemployment. Because of scarcity of capital, employment generation is not that much. So there is unemployment, and due to unemployment, poverty is persisting in the society of India. And due to this poverty, because some people are poor and some are super rich, so there are inequalities. There is huge inequality that is present in the society of India. And due to inequality, regional inequalities are also prevalent. For example, compare the lifestyle of people in Haryana or Punjab that to the people in UP and Bihar. There is a huge difference or huge regional inequality between the people of Haryana and Punjab as compared to Uttar Pradesh or Bihar. The next thing is high growth rate of population. And predominance of agriculture, which is not giving desired outcome. Now the inequalities are given by Kuznets hypothesis. Kuznets hypothesis. On the y-axis we take inequality, and on the x-axis we take real per capita income. It says that in the initial time, with increase in real per capita income, the inequalities will rise in a society. But with the passage of time, with increase in real per capita income, the inequalities start to decline. And the reason for this is given by Kuznets is trickle down theory. This trickle down theory it states that the benefits of the economic growth will automatically percolates down to the lowest strata of the society. With the passage of time, the benefits of economic growth will automatically percolates down to the lowest section or strata of the society. So this is trickle down theory. And the second reason given by Kuznets is the tax revenue of government. The tax revenue of government will increase with increase in economic growth. Therefore, if tax revenue increases, development expenditure by government also increase, and that will benefit the lowest strata or section of the society. The next point within developing feature of Indian economy is dualistic economy. Indian economy is a dualistic economy. What does this mean? It means that there is sharp difference between traditional and modern economy. So this is the meaning of dualistic economy, that is there is sharp difference between traditional and modern economy. For example, farming and modern type of industries. There is sharp difference between these two types. And the last point within the developing feature of Indian economy is the last feature of India's developing nature is it in India there is low level of well-being. For example, in 2022, in Human Development Index, India's rank was 132. India's rank was 132 out of 191 countries. And in the neighboring countries, only Pakistan and Nepal are behind India, and all other neighbor countries are above in this list than India. Then we see the second feature of Indian economy is that it is mixed economy. Generally, there are four types of economy. First is capitalist economy, then socialist, then mixed, and the last is communist. We will see all of them in detail. So, in capitalist economy, capitalist, socialist, mixed, and communist. In capitalist economy, the private sector is predominant, while on the other hand, in socialist economy, the public sector is dominating, and in mixed economy, both these sectors are working with each other. So it has features of both capitalist as well as socialist economy, while communist economy is the extreme form of socialist economy. It is the extreme form of socialist economy, and it says there should be no class, that society should be classless, all should be equal. And in communist economy there is no private sector. Therefore, it is an ideal society. And the next thing is, in case of capitalist economy, the government intervention is least. But in case of socialist economy, there are rigid government regulations that the company has to follow. And in case of mixed economy, there is moderate government intervention. So again, it is intermediating between these two types of economy. The third feature is, in case of capitalist economy, the resource allocation is based on market mechanism. It is based on market mechanism, that is, it is based on demand and supply. So resource will be allocated on the basis of demand and supply. While in the case of socialist economy, the resource allocation is done by economic planning by the government and not by market mechanism. And in case of mixed economy, the resource allocation is based on modified market mechanism. In some things it follow the feature of socialist economy, and in other things it follow capitalist economy. And the last features of this economy is that, in case of capitalist economy, the motive of production, what is the aim of production? Motive of production is to earn profit. But in socialist economy, the motive is social welfare. While in mixed economy, for private sector the motive is profit, and for public sector the motive is social welfare. And what are the advantages of capitalist economy? Advantages are it is highly efficient, and there will be high competition. But in case of socialist economy, because the economic activities are under public sector, there will be low efficiency as well as low competition. And the disadvantage of capitalist economy is that there is social injustice, because companies are involved in earning profit. So there is social injustice, while in case of socialist economy, the disadvantage is low efficiency and the advantage is social justice. While in the case of mixed economy, we have to compromise on both these objectives. The third feature of Indian economy is that it is market oriented economy, and the last feature is it is progressive economy. It is a progressive economy because the size of economy of India is very large, but the development of India is low, so there is scope of development. So it is a progressive economy. This is all from this chapter. In the next chapter, we will see the topic of inequality.